Yo, welcome everyone, Sanjay Chia here. So here we are, finally at the second to last episode of what I'm assuming to be this part of the final season of Attack on Titan. And honestly, nobody wants to hear that because people want the rest of the story adapted. And after waiting an entire year to wait again, possibly, I think that's the killer thing. Now, of course, next week there should be no episode, and we'll get the final episode a week after that on April 3, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, check your calendars. But as I keep saying these last few Attack on Titan reaction reviews, is that we should be getting some Attack on Titan panel either next week Sunday or in the days after that, something along the lines of that. So the best bet is to, you know, wait it out, and well, you would assume they'll announce what the plan is to adapt the rest of the story at that panel, because that's the only logical thing. And I'm hoping they do. Honestly. Again, leave your bets in the comment section if you want a movie or a final season part 3, some big TV special. I don't know. I think a TV special would be like yeah, probably like the middle ground between part 3 or a movie. So I don't know, anything is anything at this point. Yeah, man, it really is. But anyway, let's get into this episode. I know a lot of persons are itching to see Eren. I know that's the big complaint, and you know, focusing on the alliance and the slower paced episodes is kind of like a little gripe some persons have. But let's see what this episode has to offer. Of course, last episode wasn't bad, so yeah. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get into it. Oh, of course, guys, if you haven't checked out my review / reaction for the latest chapter of Boruto, you can definitely check that out. I'll link that or something. That was definitely a great chapter. Ooh, that close-up of the eye. Yo. Ooh. That was not CGI. Mappa pulling off some 2D animated 3D ODM gear. Looking, alright, damn, that's CGI. Nah, like, this looking really clean, dog. And again, I'll say what everyone's been saying, like, compared to even part 1 of season 4, the CGI is like I would say much better. Material slice and dice it, people just gone dead. The beer is just done for, dog, honestly. And it's interesting, they haven't actually shown those persons in a flashback that we were supposed to get, like when Eren just started the rumbling. So that's the funny part about this. Like, those persons that John just thought about, we haven't seen them yet. So I don't know. I'm kind of questioning Mappa's direction, even though for manga readers who know about that flashback, my suspicion is that they'll combine the flashback from chapter 123 when they were in Marley with the additional flashback that we get in 130, more than likely into one episode. But it makes a moment like John flashing back to remember those people, like it doesn't really hit as much with the audience because the audience doesn't know them. So yo, yo, no worries, he's just knocked out. Hmm. Why the amount of Yeagerist are just dead to this one. Ooh, that was a nice shot of that guy. Yo, Floch. Floch say, yo, now motivate to know. The new Erwin. Of course, it could never be the new Erwin, but you know what I mean. Alright, here we go, the moment. Falco. Nah, like them a bomb and he like no tomorrow no. Ooh, lad, that just look hot. Alright, Connie, yo, Manala, Mappa is doing an awesome job with these ODM gear scenes. Yeah, stop it. Ooh, shit. Honestly, with how good this looks, maybe an Attack on Titan movie wouldn't be such a bad idea. Alright. Falco looking clean. And they're playing Ashes on Fire. Yo, Falco look clean, Sadag. Yo! Floch going in for it. Is Floch the real protagonist? Gabby, Gabby, Gabby. Ooh. I'm just really impressed with this episode. There's just something really fluid. Really. Yo! Mikasa, man! Like, some with the camera angles, it just really conveys the intensity of it. Yo! Dog! No! Mikasa, you never do that, dog! No, brother. She never did go so far with the last one there. Alright, Shadis. I guess it's as Itachi says in Naruto, you don't really know what type of human you are until just before you die. Going out like a G. And then the OST is just perfect, dog. Wait, there seems like there's more to... Alright. Can you kill Eren, dog? Yeah, everybody just tired, dog, honestly. Alright, so without a shadow of a doubt, that was an amazing episode of Attack on Titan. Probably the best episode in weeks. And that's not to take away anything from the last, I don't know what, 4 or 5 episodes, even though they've been more, slowly paced compared to this episode. Those episodes were still at least at 8 or 9 out of 10. But this episode definitely, well, definitely a 9.9 out of 10. I just had one minor nitpick, which I guess could take off 0.1. But all in all, this episode we see the Alliance finally make their way off the island and head to the continent to repair the flying ship so they could actually stand a chance at, surviving while the ship is, prepared so they can go and stop the rumbling. Now, honestly, what made this episode like really amazing for me was how Mappa actually went and did the animation, and just between the animation and I would say something about the camera angles, it really emphasized the intensity of the Alliance killing the Yeagerist, of just generally the conflict between the Yeagerist and the Alliance. I mean, you really get to see how brutal it is, honestly. And I mean, John said it best himself. He hesitated, they won't really stand a chance, and you kind of get to really see how the Alliance, or at least Armin, Mikasa, John, and everybody have really steeled themselves to really, betray the persons they actually fought and grew up with, at least through the military. So it was really a sight for sore eyes, if I could put it like that. Like, it was intense, really intense, and I think Mappa, especially with their ODM or their ODM 3DM gear, it just looked really good. It seemed like we really got some genuine 2D animated 3D ODM gear movements in this episode, and it looked really fantastic. Like, something about this episode really genuinely took me back to the days of Studio Wit doing the animation and things. So that was definitely a plus in terms of capitalizing on intensity and everything. So there's that. My small nitpick, of course, as I said during the reaction section, was definitely the fact that we had John really flashback to some persons the anime only persons wouldn't really be aware of at the moment. So it doesn't really make it as emotional. It doesn't really sell the emotions as best as it could have if we got the flashback that Mappa has left out so far in Marley. So yeah. So that's the only nitpick, but apart from that, definitely an amazing episode. Of course, we do get to see Falco transform for the first time, looking clean on his part. Between that and the OST, really amazing. I would even say that in terms of like characterization and characters coming full circle, seeing Magath and Shadis kind of come together in the end there, and I mean, making the ultimate sacrifice to give the Alliance, an opportunity, a path to actually move forward so they don't get compromised. I thought it was beautiful. Of course, Magath's character kind of coming full circle. His whole character arc has been completed with his death, especially with those last words he actually said to Shadis. I thought it was beautiful for the most part. Yo, the man, it really is sad, honestly, and to be able to admit when you're wrong, especially, like, I mean, I think from the very beginning, Magath has displayed a lot of nuance in his character, even before this whole war began, before the declaration of war. I think there was nuance to his character, and I think it's an episode like this that makes his character come full circle and really highlight the full spectrum of the nuance in his character. I mean, from last episode, him admitting he was wrong, and yo, Jano, it's just rough, honestly. Shadis going out as well. The man, I mean, he did his part. He more than did his part. From they were still in Shiganshina till now, the man has essentially he's one of the heroes that, as Magath is saying, we remembered as one that saved the world. And the fact that he actually got rid of the reinforcements, yo, honestly, that was crucial, dog. Honestly, because they wouldn't have made it out if it wasn't for him either way. And it's just the, even though these are characters that are just meeting for the first time between Magath and Shadis, like, as an audience member, and especially I would imagine even if you're a part of someone that has a military background, you can empathize with the mutual respect that Shadis and Magath have for each other. And I think that really gives a nice visceral reaction to us, the audience, in combination with the music and thing by the end where the ship blows up. So I thought that was really good. And I know, again, one of the kind of a bit of the nitpicks is that persons, for the first 5 episodes we were like non-stop, and we kind of climaxed in episode 5 with the announcement of the rumbling. And ever since, persons have been waiting and dying to see Eren and persons getting destroyed, well, killed, in Marley at least. And you know, I think it might create a frustrating, somewhat of a frustrating experience when persons are hearing, oh, Eren's made it X and X distance by now and it's probably destroyed Liberia by now, and we don't actually see it. So that's a nitpick, but I personally would not take that from the episode. For persons who are really dying for just some action, I think this episode should have given you enough blood. And honestly, that does sound a way. That does sound like you would be some psychopathic person, maybe. I don't know. But in all seriousness, if you were just in it for the action, which I don't, but if you're just dying for some action, like the heights of action, then this episode I think helped to really sell that to you. But still, yo, honestly, there were some scenes like that scene where Mikasa made the Thunder Spear blow up after she killed those 2 guys. Yo, that was extra, bro. Honestly, I think it's just the brutality of it in contrast to how weary and tired the characters are, even by the end of the episode, with Annie kind of tearing up and just giving up because she feels like Liberia is done for. It creates such a contrast in my mind as a viewer, at least. I know I'm a manga reader, but like this, the way this is being adapted is just, Mappa's doing an excellent job, and I think it helps to really sell the spectrum of feelings I think Isayama wanted us to feel in the manga as well, to like the next level, because it really sells it, honestly. And even though I was kind of hyping it up, like, yo, this looks sick, dog, you see me, and thing, like the brutality of it, really and truly, it, when you really think back on it, it really is sad. Like, thinking about how brutal, like, all the killing was in this episode versus, and that in combination with how, like, hopeless you see Annie feels at the end, and with the death of, like, Shadis and Magath. So again, I thought it was an amazing episode between animation, selling the intensity and brutality of these characters who've known each other having to be killing their old comrades. I think it really helps to sell it to the highest degree, especially those scenes where like the female and armor titan were getting destroyed. Graphic, I love it. And you know, just the character moments, the character arcs coming full circle with Shadis and Magath, beautiful right there as well. And what more can I say? It was just amazing, dog. So yeah, but anyway, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Of course, next episode 2 weeks from now, give or take. So I don't know, this episode kind of made me feel like an Attack on Titan movie would be, it would be really good. But anyway, Sanjay Uchiha, and I'll see you here in the quote-unquote final episode of Attack on Titan. See you guys.